Memory is the ability to create a pathway between learning and knowing. But having a good memory requires relying on your MOM, which is an acronym that stands for motivation, observation, and method. The first M stands for motivation. Imagine that someone told you to call him and you forgot to call him the next day. Probably because there is no reason for that. But if the person told you to give you $5,000 if you call him, then you will for sure remember the $5,000 because there is a reason. And the source of your motivation is the reason. So you will have to remember things by making something that will motivate you to do that. The O stands for observation. You're more likely to remember things due to your observation. And the issue here is not retention, but attention. So the more you have focus, the more you will have a high level of awareness. The M stands for methods. And there are so many methods and tools to remember things. And one of them is to remember your dreams.